Teenagers are building businesses with AI, while the only AI you know is ChatGPT.
Okay, good. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me first of all say apologies for the late start tonight. As you can see, I'm in a whole different setting. Right now, I know I late, Nate. Blessed. Bear with me. I'm in a whole nother country. Initially, I had planned to do a pre-recording, which I did record it, but I said, instead of doing that, I can do something more dynamic, something more, on point with the time. So instead of doing something pre-recorded, I say, you know what? Let me just go live and show you where we at and what we doing. Yeah, that's what we about. So today I can talk about investing in yourself. I can talk about the importance of investing in yourself. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this episode short because I already start late. I know I wanna make sure everyone gets some good rest, and I also have a day full of activities, so I won't keep you guys here too long. Like I mentioned, I did have a whole episode prepared, slides and everything to show, but instead of doing all of that, I'll just do something more spontaneous, something more natural. So I hope it's well received. So before I get into the message, let me start by saying, like I said, I'm not in my usual settings at the moment. I guess you could see that based on the background and the area in. I got a nice ring light to shine up my face and everything, make me look nice and handsome. But so we go. We gotta do with what we have. We gotta work with the cards that we dealt sometimes. So that's my styling for sure, for sure. So yeah, right now I here in Borneo. So that's why, as you can see, I have nice parrot picture in the background and thing. But yeah, I was invited to come to Borneo to agricultural conference. For those who know me, especially know my political campaign, they would know that I campaigned on agriculture and the importance and the need for agriculture in St. Martin. So yeah, I, like I say, was invited to attend this conference, and I would say all of that ties into investing in yourself, because I invested in myself and I showed my worth and my value, and that's why now I was contacted and invited to, you gotta really put put effort and put value in elevating yourself, like honestly, like I see it, the first thing you should be investing in is yourself. Education is key. Like they say, knowledge is power, but knowledge is lifelong wealth. No one could take that from you. So when you learn something, when you advance yourself and increase your knowledge, that's the best thing you could do for yourself, because no matter what happened, no matter where your life goes, no one can take that knowledge away from you. No matter what happened to you later on in life, you still will have that knowledge and that wealth of wisdom with you. Nobody can take it away from you. It ain't to say like you work a job 20 years and then after you leave the job, whether you retire or whatever, that they gonna come say, okay, well, we taking all the knowledge that you gained over this 20 years that you was with us. No, that's yours. Nobody can take it. And that's why a lot of times most people, when they work a job for a good duration of time, they turn around and go and open a business in that field, because what, they already knowledgeable in that field. They already have that wealth of information and they know what going to work, was the loopholes, was the things that missing, so it's easier for them to just bridge that gap, fill that void, so like I say, invest in yourself first. Yeah, invest in yourself first, because once you have the knowledge, once you grow, your your finances gonna grow, your connections gonna grow, everything gonna grow around you. But you have to have that drive. You have to get up and go for it. You have to put plans in place and make sure you execute your plans. So me personally, that's one thing about me. I always invest in myself. Like I just say, I forever in R&D, which is research and development. I always researching and trying to develop and advance myself and do better than before. So yeah, that's why I say I always in R&D, always in R&D. Because you could always get better. You could always do better. If you do some, let me say you wash a car. When you finish that, you could say to yourself, "But I could have do that faster. I could have do it this way, and it would have come out even more shinier." So yeah, invest in yourself. I always invest in myself. I have a wealth of certifications under my belt, like in all type of things: customer service, business, leadership, project management skills in general. A lot of different things, and I just say that to not to toot my horn or not to feel myself, but just to share that with you, that when you invest in yourself, that's the best investment, the best investment. Like I consider myself just like a tree. Just like a tree, you plant the seed, and once you make sure you water it, it's going to grow. And once it reach to maturity, it's going to yield abundantly. So like I say, I consider myself like a tree. I'm always growing and elevating, continually expanding my knowledge. And like consider like you take a bucket and you want to pour some water on something, but the bucket empty. You gotta fill your bucket. You have to fill your bucket. You have to make sure you putting water in your bucket so that when you want to water something else, they have. Or for instance, like I mentioned with the tree, you can't expect you can plant a seed and you watering it, you nurturing it, you caring for it, and it gonna grow. No, it don't work so. you know, you have to care for it, you have to maintain it, manage it. So it's the same thing. It might sound different, but it's the same fundamental concept that if you don't invest in yourself, you ain't gonna grow. You ain't gonna be able to harvest. You ain't gonna have nothing to bring to the market. Let me say like that. So you have to invest in yourself first. And some people might say like, yeah, well, I done school years ago. I ain't going back school. And when they hear like these type of talks, they thinking like, bye. For me to educate myself, for me to increase my knowledge, I have to go school, or I gonna have to go back school, or these type things. But that's not true. You can increase your wealth in any situation, any day, every day. You could increase your wealth. Whether it's you decide to go on YouTube and watch a video, or let me say like you actually hands on, you outside doing the thing that you interested in, like all of that is investing in yourself, because you're increasing your knowledge, you're doing research, you're increasing your knowledge, you're investing in yourself, so it is important. And I learned in college, one of my professors used to say the most important thing is purpose and audience. Once you could understand purpose and audience, you understand everything. And I agree. You gotta know what message you got to bring across, in a sense of what's the purpose of you trying to bring across a message, and who is the person that you're bringing the message across to then bring it in a way that it would relate well with them. So that's one concept that was taught to me in college that stuck with me. But another one I heard in college, which that's not the only place I heard it, but the concept of lifelong learning is something I hold dear to my heart. I believe in lifelong learning. I believe you don't have to go to school, you don't have to be in a classroom to learn. And it's not that, okay, well, I go high school, I go get my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, then everything done. Or even if I go on to my PhD, then once I get that, then everything done. No, like lifelong learning is about understanding that every single day God sends can be a learning experience. Like they say, like no matter what you do, no matter how you just do it, you can learn something. You get up in the morning and you see somebody walking down the road, and they walking with a bucket on their head, and you're checking like, but how they get that do? And then when you really analyze, you see like, oh, they wrap the cloth around the head, so now it's flat. Like every day is a learning experience. So don't limit yourself and say to yourself like, yeah, okay, well, I know everything, I don't need to learn no more. Or don't limit yourself and tell yourself like, yeah, well, if I want to learn more, I have to go back to school and things. Like with the internet nowadays, there is a wealth of information at our fingertips. Any industry, any field you're interested in, whatever you feel you want to do, you could find it somewhere on the internet. For me, I love YouTube. For me, YouTube is not like entertainment. For me, YouTube is like a university. Like I just use YouTube like an educational platform. Anything I want to know, I go type it into YouTube. Like, okay, a joke. I remember a few years ago, I was talking to one of my friends, and we was talking about how they got everything on YouTube, and I make a joke with him, and I said, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you could find videos on YouTube on how to clean your bottom. I think, and shockingly, a day I decided, you know what? I say that like a few times. I wonder if it's true. And so said, so done. People have videos on YouTube of them teaching people how to wipe. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, on one hand, it make you feel like people put anything on YouTube. But then on the other hand, it's like, yo, like, if you want to learn anything, you could go on YouTube. So, like I say, I just sharing this with you to say, like, there is a wealth of information out there, and we should try our best to increase our knowledge as much as we can, because the more knowledge you have, the better you can make decisions, and a lot of positives. Let me just say like that. So invest in yourself. Invest in yourself first, because you are the best investment. Yeah, all of us want real estate, all of us want passive income, and we want to be relaxed on a beach somewhere with some type of cocktail, or on a boat, or on a plane going to some other country. All of us, let's be honest, all of us have some goal, whether it's to be with family more, or to have to work less, to retire from work early, whatever it is. All of us have our own goals, and for us to reach to our goals, we have to elevate ourselves. It's no way else that you could grow and reach to higher heights, and strive for greater, when you staying on the same level. If you feel like, nah, I don't need to learn nothing, I don't need to add nothing to my wealth or knowledge, I good how I be, I promise you're going to stay where you be. Straight up. So anybody who checking like, yeah, but I don't like my job, and I tired of this job, I want to leave them, or whatever the feeling you have, whatever negative feeling you have, start by telling yourself, okay, what I want to do, what's my plan, what I see myself doing other than this job, and then start researching it. Start to increase your knowledge in that capacity. Start to check out videos, maybe read little articles. TikTok is what's running the place right now. So people getting educated off a short TikTok 30-second videos, 1-minute videos. So if that's the route that you choose, so be it. But increase your knowledge. Invest in yourself first, because once you invested in, once you elevating, all the things around you will surely grow, expand, and elevate as well. So that's my motivational message for today. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself first. So yeah. Thank you for joining. Let me say, I know it's late, so I appreciate you. I like that one, Alicia. Toot your horn, yes. Lord, man, I ain't gonna go on too bad. Let me say like that. I gotta humble myself. But yes, when you achieve your achievements, and you receive your accolades, you gotta rate yourself. You gotta stay positive, and tell yourself like, yeah, I do that. I say I can do it, and I do it. So I agree. You gotta celebrate your achievements, but there's a thin line between celebrating your achievements and, feeling yourself a little too much, like a little pride, so we ain't trying to be too prideful. We just trying to be humble and real, keep it real with people. So that is it. That is it. But I appreciate that comment. Self. Toot your hand and feel yourself, yes. Tap yourself on the back. But yeah, I gotta say once again, I really appreciate y'all for joining. And like I say, I know I come on late and bear with me. Like I say, I'm in Borneo. Yeah. We get invited to Borneo. Well, let me not say we. I got invited. Me and two other farmers from St. Martin, one other farmer and one fisherman. We are part of a delegation from St. Martin that was invited to the DC Alpha Agricultural Conference held here in Borneo this week. So DC Alpha stands for Dutch Caribbean Agriculture Livestock Fisheries Association. So it's an organization started to increase collaboration and promote the unity and trade between the, let's say, farmer Netherlands Antilles, so the Dutch Caribbean islands, all six of them. So St. Martin, Saba, St. Eustatius, Aruba, Borneo, Curacao. So it has delegates from all six of the islands here, and today we met with, well, we had presentations from the governor of Borneo, from BZK, from Ban Cirque, which is a company that doing project down here removing sargassum from the waters of Borneo. And like different entities came, did their presentation. DC Alpha actually launched their website today, so that was a positive. It was nice to see growth and progress in the field. And yeah, bottom line, like I said, the whole point behind DC Alpha is to promote and enhance the collaboration between the farmer Netherlands and Antilles Islands. And for me, I all for that, because like I always say, I all for unity. One hand can't clap, you can't wash your hand with like this. One hand you can't wash your hand, you can't clap your hand like so. So we need each other in all things. United we stand, divided we fall. So as the agricultural industry specifically, I like the initiative of DC Alpha to, like I say, help promote and encourage the trade, the knowledge exchange, even labor exchange when need be. So the idea is, okay, if I have a plan to do something here in Borneo, but in St. Martin they're doing it already, we could collaborate, exchange knowledge, and help each other out. So vice versa. Let me say, maybe if in St. Martin something going on, or we plan to do something, and what we plan to do, they already doing it in one of the other Dutch Caribbean islands, we could now collaborate and get some knowledge and understanding, get data, get statistics on all these different information. So I'll say for sure for St. Martin, that's a good thing, because in St. Martin, our main problem where agriculture is concerned is we don't have the structure set up. There is no agricultural department. Okay, agriculture falls under TIAT, which, okay, at least there is something, but rightfully for the monstrosity of an industry that agriculture is, for all the regulations and stipulations and policies and legislation required around that, it should be its own entity. You know, you're dealing with food, you're dealing with people livelihood, you know. So yes, it's good that it's still being taken care of under the TIAT ministry, but I do personally feel in St. Martin there is a need, not a want, or not a, you know, it's not nothing lacks. There is a need for an agricultural department. Once we get the proper structure and we know how we're going to move forward, then we could make the necessary adjustments as we go. You know, because, okay, the idea is, like I say, exchanging knowledge and data and information. So, okay, I could come to you, let me say, I go to Aruba already have the Department of Agriculture, let me say they have the fisheries set up properly. Okay, let me use Sabre as an example. Let me say Sabre have the fisheries set up properly, well documented, all the paperwork and regulations are set, outlined, the procedures and processes of how the fishermen does operate and harvest the fishing thing is done on a more organized and let me say sanitized manner. That's the word we're looking for. Then we now could say, okay, well, this is how are you doing it. We could implement that here, but then now you make some adjustments because, you know, things different over there that in certain aspects than for us. So now you can't expect you and just take it there and bring it here and then just put it the same way and everything will be okay. No, that's honestly one of the problems St. Martin have already. But in general, when you want to do something, you look for the people who doing it already. Anything you plan to get into, like how we talk about invest yourself earlier. Any plan you have, let me say you get an idea to start a new endeavor, you're on a new journey, you planning to, let me say, start a new project that nobody ain't doing, well, you won't see nobody in your circle do or anything along those lines, new. Usually the first thing you'll do, you'll go look for somebody with experience in that field. Somebody who done doing what you're looking to do. A mentor or a coach or whatever to be. Like right now, coaching and life coach and business coach and all these things is the wave. Everybody want to have a coach now. First, before, when you hear people talk about coach, the first thing you ask them if they're on a soccer team or basketball team. But now everybody want a coach, life coach, health coach, everything coach, you know. So that shows you the value of experience. Let me just put it just simply like that. Value of experience, because you've been there already, because you walked this road already, I could come to you and we could dialogue, and now you could save me all of that, you know, run around all of that rigmarole. And so, you know, so that's how I see it. Hey Claude, blessings. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. But yeah, so bottom line, like I say, I look at it like with these type of initiatives, it's a great thing because let me say for us in St. Martin, like I said, we don't really have the structure, we don't have nothing set up really. It's like everything just being done on the fly. So it's a great idea to now collaborate with our partners within the kingdom, our Caribbean partners within the kingdom, to get an idea of what is being done so we could know how we could formulate our plan of approach. Which I ain't gonna lie to you, I already have ideas, I already, start to put together a structure for an agricultural department. Honestly, all these things is things you don't even have to really bust your brain about. Like, we decide, okay, we want a department of agriculture. What it is to actually say one of these islands or any other regional island that we just don't do partnership with, just ask them, okay, well, look, how are you guys your structure, or how are you guys things set up so that people could still get the regulations they need, like let me say you could export your stuff and you get the required permit or the required document to get your thing exported without no problem and no headache, so bottom line, wealth exchange, knowledge exchange is very crucial and a great thing, like when you have somebody that got like 20 years experience on top of you, or even 5, even 2, that wealth of information could save you a lot of time and help both you and them, so like I say, and I always say, and I'm gonna keep saying, one hand wash another, always. So I'm always for collaboration, I'm always for unity. Now, you gotta protect yourself because people like to take advantage of some people, but bottom line, I all for we. like I say, even in my campaign, it ain't about me, it ain't about I, it's about we. Like, it's about St. Martin. Like, without St. Martin, I ain't nowhere, I ain't nobody. Like, if it wasn't for St. Martin, I wouldn't have be here right now, I wouldn't have be alive. So I got to do for St. Martin, plain and simple. So like I said, that's why I down here right now in Borneo with the parrots and parakeets and them flying around wild. I ain't gonna lie though, I've been enjoying the vibes. The place nice. I like Borneo. So first time being Borneo. I've been to all the other Dutch Caribbean islands, but this is my first time coming to Borneo, and I could say a very nice welcome so far, Water lovely. I ain't reach inside of it yet, but the water too blue for me to not reach inside of that. You know what I want? Like, don't get me wrong now. I love my Siman water. Don't play that. I love Mola Bay. I love La Samana Beach. But yeah, love alone. Love alone. Yeah. But yeah, so invest in yourself. When you invest in yourself, people gonna come look for you too. Come say, yeah, look, I want you to come by me. Come take a trip, come check me, and then you could be a representative of your country as well. So what went on here? I don't understand. Wait, I want to stop. Yeah, boy. So it looked like I had some technical difficulties on the Facebook side. But yeah, internet ain't trying for we to be great, And that's actually kind of why I had say I might have. My plan was to do a pre-recorded video for today and post it talking about investments. So being as I didn't get to touch last week on the stock market and the heat map and all those things, I had said that this week I would have focused on investing, so investing yourself, and I'll come with the investing talk, my personal investment journey. But like I say, instead of coming with like the pre-schedule agenda, I say, let me be a little more spontaneous today. So, spontaneous. I hope you like spontaneous. I hope everybody like the spontaneous vibes, So, yeah, Bonia. I don't know. Anybody that been Bonia, leave it in the chat. Let me know who all been down here. I know I ain't the only one that new to down here, but still, let me see who else been down here. I like it though. I ain't went all around yet. Tomorrow we doing like field trips, so I'll get to see more of the island tomorrow. I've been taking a lot of pictures. I ain't so good with the reels and thing yet, but I say I got to put together something to show the little trip. All these things I'm gonna be working on, but that's after the trip, of course, because I gotta get all the content first. But yeah, bye, Bonia, nice. I know they say Aruba that Tadushi, but I ain't know what they say for Bonia, but you gotta say something, bye. Bon dia, bon tardi, whatever to be. Bon. Yeah, bye, she nice. So tomorrow, like I say, we're supposed to be doing like a little tour, whereas we're going to be going by different farms, going to see like different, setups and operations, but also we're going by, they got like a cactus distillery, so they're making rum from cactus down here, which that is kind of new to me. I know that they make rum from almost everything, but I never hear or see cactus rum. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going on with that. I bear with me, I know I call it, but yeah. Curious to see what Bonnie or cactus rum saying. Like I see cane rum already, I see rum from all kind of different thing, but I never see cactus rum. But yeah, so I say I want to go to the Flamingo Park. I would like to go see that. So I'll see what's going on with that. And yeah, I also say I have to reach inside this water. Like I have to jump in the water sometime before I leave here, because I ain't gonna feel good if I don't. I'm telling you from today the first official day, and I'm telling you from the first official day, I ain't gonna feel good if I ain't getting that water. So yeah, Boniata Dushi. I don't know what else I could tell you. But yeah, though, I hope I like my shot, Straight out of St. Martin again, we repping with St. Martin brand. Don't play that. Don't play that. Big up my boy Cisco Ma, SYM, Millionaire Wall. Yeah. Limited edition. But yeah, big up the St. Martin Young Millionaire Squad. One time, two time. Blessings. You don't know. Like this oneself. Need to get some more stuff from them, man. Hope they coming out with something new. But we like limited edition, we like special thing. Cause we special, That took me on a little bit now. But yeah. Bottom line, is love alone. It's love alone. When you spread love will come back to you. When you spread hate, it'll get hate. So spread love, give people good. Show your worth. Show your value. Don't be afraid. If I didn't take a leap of faith and decide to contest if I didn't push myself and say like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get deep in the public speaking again, join Toastmasters again, put myself out there. Bottom line, if I didn't tell myself I can put myself out there, I would not be here. I have a wealth of skills, a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information, and I was keeping it to myself for a long time because you're skeptical about people. You feel like you might get burnt. People are gonna take advantage, cutthroat world we living in. But it got good wall, it got good in the world, it got good people in the world, and you got people that gonna deal with your good. So you just gotta weed out the bad and you know find the good. Just like in your garden, you take out the weeds and the bush them that growing up in between your things that you want, which it gonna be the things you want gonna be fewer than the weeds and grass and bush that growing up, but you value your soursop and your watermelon and all these things more, even though it's less than the weeds, so same concept, like value what you got and believe in yourself and stay consistent, keep pushing, and maybe in the beginning people ain't gonna realize what's going on, people might not appreciate it, but a day gonna come when it's going to all pay off, so just have faith in yourself, honestly. And I think I might leave it on this one. Truthfully, I feel like that even with this podcast is like, I'll be honest, weeks, maybe at least 3 weeks, 4 weeks before I set a date, like before that was a little undecided, checking like by, I want to do something, I think I'm going to do it. I've been doing the research on what's the process, like what I'll have to get, what I'll need to get it going. And before that, I used to find myself saying like, bye, I need something to, like, I need an outlet. I'd be having these conversations with people one-on-one, and dang, that's a waste of time because I can talk to you now today about that, and you might even forget me and you had a conversation. You might remember because it might be impactful and interesting to your life, so you might remember. But apart from that, it's like that impact have to be there, else it's not going to be retained, you know. But yeah, bottom line, you gotta show your value. And like I say, I didn't know exactly how I wanted to do it, what I wanted to do, but I just tell myself like, look, I doing it this day, okay, maybe ain't how I want it. Even now, like I check in like Vexa, I can't really see my face good. I need my ring light. Like I check in, I needed a next camera. I was looking at a mic. I actually had a condenser mic that I had from before, a USB mic. I check in, okay, good. I got a mic already, so I go there. I need a mic again, but when I tried set it up, it wasn't working. A whole bunch of things. But what? We here still. I ain't leave nothing stop me. I ain't leave nothing tell me like, bye, I can't do it because of this, or I can't do it because of that. No, I gonna do it, and then we gonna shape up, we gonna fix up as we go. So I guess understand and bear with me too in that regard. But like for me too, that's a big deal because I do have like certain perfectionist tendencies. Like I am that type of person that is like, by I doing this, I want to do it right. I want to make sure like I plan for everything, and I pre think of all the outcomes, negatives, positives. Like I just try to really do comprehensive approach when I doing things. So even me doing that is like kind of out of pocket, out of my character. Like I would have for sure need to get everything in order before I even started. But like I say, I just chose a date and I say, you know what, no matter what, no matter where I stand, on that day I doing it. And okay, I felt good of the outcome, and I did feel like I had myself set up and organized and prepared well. But you know, like for me, like I was striving for better. Like I tell you, forever in R&D. So it's like after that first episode, I was like, okay, I could do this better. I checking this in went how I wanted it, so I can do it like this. Bam, bam, bam. Look, even tonight, look, Facebook get cut off, YouTube still going, but the first night, YouTube was just sticking straight. So I went, changed some settings, and now we're working a little better. Okay, I dropped because in another country. I ain't gonna lie, I miss my Starlink. I'll do a video about Starlink too. One of these episodes gonna be about Starlink. But anyways, you gotta make something happen, and you gotta believe in yourself and invest in yourself. So yeah. Bottom line, I appreciate all you for rocking with me on this podcast. It's love alone. Check. Like I said, this ain't about me. This is about we. This is about a conversation. So, whatever you feel about what I'm talking about, share it in the chat. I want to hear. That's why I'm doing this. To hear what you gotta say. It ain't about me just coming on chat. Me come here go chat. I ain't no chatty person like that either. But yeah, like I said, I got a lot on my mind and I want to share it. And for me, I like discussions. I open to debates. So that's what I'm trying to promote here. Intellectual, intelligent debates that could elevate us and empower us. So that's what it's all about. Once again, love alone. I appreciate all you for joining and coming on the live and checking it out and all of that good stuff. Once again, I apologize for my tardiness. I specifically tell myself consistency. That's why every week I hear. Even before coming here, I already knew I was coming and I was done, trying to formulate my plan of approach. And I did so. I gave myself multiple options, and God bless, this is the option I chose because, like I said, I wanted something real. I didn't want no pre-recorded thing. I could have do this podcast, everything pre-recorded. I didn't have to be here live. I didn't have to do all this setup and thing. I could have just, from the start, from the first episode, just say like, okay, well, I can record it, edit it, and then post it. No, I want to be here with all you. I want this real time. I want to be there with all you. I want to hear what you gotta say. Don't worry, one of these days we can even bring all you on. Like I say, I do interviews, but don't worry. We gonna make this podcast great. Not me, no. We all alone. So yeah, like once again, I appreciate you for joining. Hope you admire the parrot picture. Maybe do some research on Bonea. I ain't gonna lie, I've been watching the Bonea TV channel and learning a lot about Bonea and how they got the thing set up, how the island set. what going on down here. I think we got a nice big salt production going on here still. Got me inspired checking by some man. Ain't joking, ain't serious, they joking. Been had to get we pan back in order. I like that. I do some research about like some companies that like do undertakings to clean like heavily polluted bodies of water and actually did it, get it back to like even drinkable levels and them thing, so all these things is possibilities for St. Martin. But anyways, I'm giving I a little too much of the game, no. But yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna leave it like that. Don't worry. Next week I'm back home, so I can be back in my back to the regular scheduled program, But I couldn't not come on and spend some time with you. So I appreciate y'all for coming on once again, love and blessings. I hope y'all have a good week ahead. I hope the motivational message was well received and that it helps, Hope it empowers you and makes you feel enlightened and liberated, So you could go out the rest of this week and conquer. So, like I say, blessings and love. I have a good night onwards. For all my Facebook people are sorry. So for you, I gonna have to repost this on Facebook. But it's love alone. Don't blame me. Blame the internet. But we making things happen still. They can't stop we. They can't stop we now. Eh? Don't care what the people do. Don't care what the people say. Can't stop we now. I'm telling you. I tell you now. So love alone, my love alone. I'll leave it here for tonight. I have a good night. Stay blessed. Catch you here next week. And yeah, just know I ain't Bonia. Bonia nice. But what? I ain't just here on vacation lollygagging. Nah, we don't here on business. Cause all of us always handling business. Cause I am all over it. Okay? Good. Yeah. Stay blessed. Have a good one. Later.